Hello there. It is Thursday, August 28th, 5 p.m. I'm Andrea. I make mindfulness videos and just silly little, I don't know, yapping sessions about my life. I'm really big on mindfulness and just self development, self love. However, I am not a professional at anything at all, ever. So, really take this as a grain of salt. I just like talking about my experiences and what I've been learning thus far. Um, just kind of keeping it real for no reason, just because I can, just because I can, just because I want to. And today, while I do that, I'm also going to be painting my nails. I hope that nobody that's a professional at this is watching because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that was rude. That was so rude. Anyways, if you saw my last video, I'm in therapy again. Let's go. I am in therapy again. We're doing this new framework or format. I don't know what the verbiage is. It's called EMDR, trauma processing. Did want to get to know more about myself and heal myself, and that is what it's all about. So that's been heavy, but it's been good. Another thing that's been kind of weighing on my mind and on my body and soul and heart and everything is mixed feelings. And I feel like most people freak the hell out when we have mixed feelings. We stress out. We're like, this can't be. But honestly, as time has passed, as I've learned some lessons, just experience some stuff. And I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but I feel very, very privileged to feel different emotions at the same time. I always talk about IFS. If you haven't heard of IFS, just kind of think of yourself as a car, and your emotions are the different parts of you. My emotions are different parts of me, and they all get to be at the car at the same time. Right now, that's kind of what I've been experiencing, and this year I also have. And I wanted a reference, so I know I do the video diaries, but I have a real diary, and I wrote about mixed feelings earlier this year on March 22nd, 2025. And I want to reference kind of some things that I wrote. I have obviously, if you've seen my other videos, been going through kind of a tough time this last year. I'm a lot better now, but going through a breakup and then a loss, that's not easy. But also, I was super duper motivated and dedicated to still living out my life, and with a lot of hope. I had a lot of hope that things were going to be okay, and not that things were just going to be okay, but that I was going to become a better person. I didn't know what that looked like, and I didn't know what that was going to feel like, and I didn't know what that was going to entail. But here we are on the other side, feeling a lot better. And so I wrote about pain and I wrote about heartache and how interesting it is that I get to love life, even the most minuscule of things, taking my vitamins, going on hunger walks, doing yapping videos, painting my nails, my friends, my family, the gym, all of that fun and awesome stuff that regulates my body, regulates my mind, regulates my emotions, and makes me feel loved. While at the same time, my heart is like, girl, this sucks. This sucks. And that's just life sometimes. That's why I'm so big on don't let the emotions drive the limo, drive the car, drive you. And interestingly enough, right now, I'm not going through heartache, thankfully. Okay. I'm not going through heartache right now, but I am going through some. I would say if I had a pinpoint an emotion, I would say I am undergoing stress, a little bit of nervousness, fear, but also a lot of I'm like locked in, like motivation, dedication, excitement. And so I want to kind of section it out, right? The way that my last relationship ended was really dramatic. It was really dramatic and traumatic. Okay. And I have done the work to, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm all healed, I'm all better, and everything is good. But I've put in the work so that I have a solid foundation to reference when things are not going great and when I find myself in moments of emotional need for regulation. And right now, as I meet new people and I find myself caring about new people, yes, romantically, but also not romantically, like in many different aspects. But I guess for video's sake, I am speaking on romance. Um, it is scary to think that it might not be it. Like it really does suck to choose the wrong, not the wrong person, but I guess to put in a lot of work and then have to say goodbye is hard. I don't ever want to say, that people aren't worth the love that we gave and the time that we spent. I think that everybody is deserving of like experiencing love, being cared for, and feeling valued and feeling special. That is not something that I'm ever going to regret making somebody else feel. It is really hard to make somebody else feel that way and have somebody make you feel that way or whatever, and then have to say goodbye. And so it's a risk that you take when you meet people and when you build relationships and you get attached. And I think it's always worth it though, regardless of how it ends up, right? But it is scary. But at the same time, it's a really nice feeling. It's a nice feeling to feel cared for. Not just, I guess, not just to feel it, but to see it when people show up for me, for you. I don't know. That's really nice. It's really hopeful. Also, being an adult and doing adult things and living alone, that's scary. It's so scary to live alone. And I actually don't think that every day I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is scary and this sucks. I think that in the back of my mind, though, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if one day I wake up and I feel lonely? That's gonna suck. Or I'm like, what if one day I wake up and I'm depressed all of a sudden? And I'm like projecting onto things that have not happened yet, are not reality. And I think the reason that my brain tends to do that is because it's a part of me. I have lived alone before, and I'm not gonna say, oh, I was a totally different person. I have never existed ever before today. But I was in a different space mentally. I didn't have the tools that I had today. So I didn't have a great time. I was lonely. And at times, I definitely struggled with my mental health while living alone. And a big part of that, I think, has to do with the fact that I struggle to have a sense of self. And it's just really nice. But also, it's confusing that I say it's nice, but I'm glad that right now I have those mixed emotions. That yes, there are things that are possibly scary, and yes, I am taking a risk. At the same time, feeling excitement and hope that I'm meeting new people and new people that are special to me and new people that show me that I'm special too. And I'm accomplishing new things, right? I'm in a new career and I'm about to graduate and I'm more independent. So it is such a privilege to just get to feel all of those things. Because when I think back on when I was having a bad time living alone, I refused to feel all those mixed emotions. I was like, that is so scary. If I sit down and spend some time with myself, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to be a good time. Which is why I'm very, very careful about my language as well. I like to say, I'm spending time with myself. I'm not by myself. Okay. Okay. And that has been helpful. I mean, everything is going to be different for everyone. Not everyone's going to find the things that I find helpful to me the same to them. But, understanding and learning about who I am, what matters to me, what helps me, what makes me feel loved, what makes me feel secure, so that I can regulate myself moving forward. That's very, very helpful. And so, yeah, right now I have mixed feelings, and at times that makes it hard to make decisions, to take leaps of faith and to take risks and trust my intuition. But knowing and understanding who I am at the end of the day has absolutely changed my life. And I know it feels so obvious. It sounds so obvious. But I think back to when I was, 18 and I met my ex partner and I was like, oh my gosh, tall, Mexican. That's all I need to know. Like, let's date forever. And I had no idea who I was and what I could give and what I couldn't give, what I was okay with and what I was not okay with, what I wanted for my life, what path I was even on. And I think that that's so important, especially as I learn more about relationships and myself, is understanding that if I don't know myself, I'm never going to understand what is not okay for me. I'm never going to understand how much I can give to somebody and what I would like to receive to feel loved and to feel cared for. And that is absolutely crucial. And as I listen, and I'm going to put the link or names, I'm going to put more info in the bio about podcasts and people that I've been listening to in order to grow a little bit. Something that's definitely stuck with me is understanding that the best time to work on your relationship, to work on all of your relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships, is before you get into them. Having a foundation and a sense of self to reference when navigating different people is extremely important so that you're self-aware when you're doing others a disservice and yourself a disservice. So you know what does work for you and what doesn't work for you. And like I said, I don't regret showing people love that weren't meant to be in my life forever. But I think I learned the importance of taking care of myself, my mind, my heart, my soul, and understanding who she is so I could help her grow, help her share, and help her receive. And so if you're having a lot of mixed feelings right now, just know that that is an absolute privilege, because there's been moments in my life where I'm like, I wish I could feel something and I'm scared that I don't. And also there's been moments in my life where I'm overwhelmed with only one feeling that I ignore all of the other ones. And that's not fun either. And so take some time to take care of yourself, to feel all of the feelings. Feelings are great. And take a safe space and time to do that. Because when we don't have a safe space and time to do that, we're letting them drive the car and somebody's going to get ran over. And that is not fun. Okay. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for hearing me yap for a minute or two, or 12, I guess. I had a great time making it. These videos really helped me get a clearer mind and to just love myself a little more. Anyways, see you in the next video. I'm not even done, but whatever.